wrote the Torah? Besides,
Yeah.
we said it was Moses who wrote the Torah. How can he remember the whole 5 books altogether? I-
It's a very good question, Janis. Depends of whom do you ask. Yes, it depends to whom do you ask. Yes, the tradition says or the belief says that he wrote them because it says, "Remember Torat Moshe, Zichru Torat Moshe." There is a verse in the Bible that says, "Zichru Torat Moshe." Remember the Torah of Moses. So it depends. Believer says it's Moses, Torat Moshe. And if you ask scholars, professors, archaeology, each one will give you just this summer. It's very interesting that you bring this topic. Just this summer, I saw a few lectures about how professors all over the world, even they sit in a Sorbonne or so, they sit with a marker, yellow marker, and they say, like editors, yes, they say, here, this part is a later edition. They take the whole Bible, which is one composition. You cannot divide the Bible or the Torah. Okay, it's undivided. And they take, yes, Moses' spirit. Yes, of course. So I saw this somewhere, and they have no shame. They have no shame, and when they speak about this, it makes them clowns. Why? They take chapter and they mark it in, how do you say, how do you, PowerPoint presentation. They take the page of the chapter and they mark in yellow, this does not belong here, this does not belong there, it doesn't make any sense, it's not rational. Because, listen to this argument, because it's not rational, according to their perspective, to their mind, it's a later addition of other people. Yes, that they have a different interest. Because they don't understand, this is quite interesting. This is quite interesting. This is why we quote many times Luria in the Zohar. Because people come with rationality and try to break, yes, with their stone head, they want to break something which is complete to its part. Yes, and I was just laughing when I saw that. And so by chance I saw one lecture, but I believe this is running all over the place, and there are so many books about it, and not one professor, many professors, they come with this idea. This is the branch, the criticism of the Bible. There is a branch in university, Bikoret HaMikra, in Hebrew, Bikoret. Bikoret is criticism, Mikra is the Bible, the whole Bible, and they come and they say, no, this should be here, this should be there, and everybody has dispute upon the other professors and about the Torah or the Bible, and they infinitely write books about it. It's just laughable if you see that. Why do we bring many times quotes from Midrashim, from the Zohar, from Luria, from Lutzato, and so on? Because those perspectives are capable to see the depths of the text. They don't come with this armor that is not rational. They go to the depths of it. So who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Torah now, Yanis?
I guess it's just what the Torah says, and is written by Moses. But it's just amazing that
What is amazing?
um, Only the spirit just flows through him, and he's able to write. And because the Torah is in Hebrew, and we've been sort of like learning the Hebrew letters and how it gets interpreted, how it gets connected, how everything somehow fit together. It just amazed me.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Good afternoon, Abigail. Happy to see you here. Yes, Fernando.
Hello, can you hear me?
Shalom, shalom. How do you do?
I'm fine. I'm happy to be here. How do you do, Eti and Yanis? Gabe?
Happy, happy to be here with you. Of course.
Yes, I tried many times to connect, but it was difficult, almost impossible. But now just fine. I'm back. So
Good to hear. Good to hear.
yeah, um, Eti, I was just not to. I have many things to say, but about this topic, it's interesting that I already passed through some readings about this idea and people sometimes argue that um, some chapters were wrote from people that were related with like a tradition from Yod He Vav and another chapters are related to what they call it Elohistas. So I think that making a relation with the name Elohim
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth. But um, the great difficulty is not this. The question is hermeneutics. Let's say this Bible hermeneutics that you can find only through this hidden, through this symbolic reading. It's a different kind of relation. Every time that I listen to someone speaking about the Old Testament God, I think like how difficult it is to explain that this conception doesn't make sense, um, because people tend to read it literally. We could ask, right, like, who is Moshe? Who is Moshe? Who is Moshe
Who
that
is?
wrote Torah?
Who is he?
Yes, who is he? And we can enter in many aspects. We can think about a historical personage,
Mm-hmm.
or if you read in different Kabbalah books as a Sephirah, as
Mm-hmm.
a kind of energy. So who is Moshe? Who is the author? Or we can think about the 345, the aspect of the triangle as a vessel, just like Feinreb speaks. So who is Moshe? Who is the author?
Now comes another question. Does it matter? And this is the great question of all. Does it matter who wrote the Torah? Who wrote the Zohar? Does it matter to the
No.
content of truth? Yes,
Yes,
this is
this
it.
is why I said that it is the spirit of what Moshe represents. It, it doesn't matter the historical event.
Yes. That's the beauty of all of it. Any questions, Yanis, Abigail, Fernando, about anything? Not just Bereshit, not just the Torah. Anything that comes to your mind. Fernando, how was the staying in Spain these days? How was it in terms of weather, people, experience in the university? What is the spirit in the campus?
It is interesting. And it was. Thank you for asking it. It was nice. It was beautiful. We got just beautiful days. I took some like clothes to face some cold, but it was only super hot days. Very very nice. And it is good, because sometimes we need to see different realities, different people, listen to different points of view, to understand who we are, to find the simple being, to know also what we are not, So it was nice, it was good, and I'm happy to be back as well.
Good. Did you manage to speak to other colleagues in the field?
Yes. I could visit some friends, speak to friends, and this is the great part. I would say that what we take from journeys is the relation with people, images, synchronicities, all these kind of things that make us think and bring things to the heart. So it is good, just like the Bible. When you find a relation, it is the point, not from the head, but from the heart.
From the heart, yes. It's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Let's open one verse from this weekly portion. ונהר יוצא מעדן. ונהר יוצא מעדן. And a river goes out of Eden, להשקות את הגן, to water the garden. What is this river? Yes, which is going outside of Eden to water the garden. What is this Eden? Eden. What comes to you? What do you think Eden is? Yanis, Fernando, Abigail. Yes, unity. Yes, a nomenon. Yes, very good. Yes. ונהר יוצא מעדן. The source. Yes. להשקות את הגן. To water the garden. What is the garden? What is the garden? What do you think the garden is? Yanis? Yes, yes. 1, 2, 4. Yes. Garden is the manifested. Yes? So the river comes from the infinite to water the manifested, to nourish, to water the manifested. And the verse is written in present tense. ונהר יוצא מעדן. יוצא is going out, coming out now. Yes? The Bible does not describe historical event. It's like jazz. Always starts with end. Yes? And. ונהר. And a river goes out or is going out of Eden now to water the garden. It's always happening, always available. This is not description, and also Weinreb discussed this verse in his book. This is another description of geographical rivers. as people usually try to do, they read a chapter and they try to name the rivers, yes, according to their understanding. This is not a description of geographical map. Yanis, can you wear headset? Because I hear a reverb coming. It could be nice, or let's just mute if we don't speak, because there's, yes. Thank you. So again, V'nahar yotze me'eden, yes, from the source, yes, to the manifestation, 4 rivers, yes. Lashkot et hagan, to water the garden, yes, all worlds in all times. And the question is how, yes, by the, how do you say the deviation? To 4 heads, 4 rivers, sub-rivers, yes. V'nahar yotze me'eden, yes, of course, yotze, now, yotze with vav of the present. 1 second, let's find the Hebrew here. Yotze, it's written in present tense. If I'm not mistaken, in the English Bible, it is written in the past. I'm not, once I saw, V'nahar, yotze, with vav of the present, me'eden, here it is. V'nahar yotze me'eden. This is it. Present tense. Or is going out. Or is coming out of Eden. Happening now. Whenever you open the Bible, it's now. There is no other time. There's only now. And V'nahar yotze me'eden. Yes? V'nahar yotze me'eden. And a river goes out, or is going out, not in present simple, but present progressive, you could say ing. Yes? V'nahar yotze me'eden. Because why do we say V'nahar yotze me'eden and a river is going out of Eden? Because there's all the time abundance which is coming and revives us and animates us, and there's air and people are breathing and walking and dancing, and the birds and the flowers and the bees and the ocean with its waves and the wind and the whales under the water and dolphin above the water. And so it is constant breath, yes, that revives the universes all the time. This is non-stop. It's an unconditional love. Yes, this is the description. If you would like to look at it like that, this is a description of unconditional love. Very simple. Yes, Fernando. Let's dance.
Let's dance. Just one thing is that it's interesting. I was heading to Brazil. I was coming back, and I was without a book to read, and I was curious about this Hungarian author that won the Nobel Prize and from literature, and I found it in the airport and I bought it. Book from him. The name is Laszlo Krasznahorkai, something like this. But and it is quite nice. I'm in the middle of the book, but the thing that brings to this conversation is that the personage of the book is a simple guy from Germany, like a very simple guy that starts studying about quantic physics, quantic, the mechanic of quantic
Quantum physics?
Quantum physics, and he can't understand why the world do not collapse. He's quite concerned about the collapsing of the world, and he starts to have these apocalyptic ideas about the collapse of the world. So he starts to write to Angela Merkel and things like this, because it is a miracle, you know, and this happening in the present, that everything stands. It is not possible to explain why things are standing as they are, why the bees are working, and why the fruits are coming, and why we are here. It's just like what you said, the river flows just right now, and something is maintaining everything. So it is quite interesting, the reading, because if you do not have this point of miracle that you cannot explain, it is almost mathematically impossible to sustain why things are happening if you stay in the mind.
It's true. According to his mind, yes, if I understand well, Fernando, according to his mind, according to his calculation and perception, everything should have fallen a while ago. Yes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And
And he's a German guy, you know, so it is, the logic is quite,
develop there, yes?
yeah, no, not too developed, but it is like one and two, you know, like white or black, and
Mm-hmm.
things must collapse. And but it is quite, it had many interesting things in this book. I'm liking, uh, but it is just like this, you know, our mind fools us all the time. And this
Yes.
miracle that this river are coming from the Eden, and we do not know what is going to happen in the next moment. It's a great relief. It's a great gift.
That it's true. It's true. It's so true. Bereshit deals only with the manifestation. Bereshit deals with the 7, the 6 days of creation and the balanced day, the day of the soul, Shabbat, the 7 lower spheres. But Bereshit does not deal with what comes before. Or if you want to look at it, the upper 3 spheres. Bereshit starts in a way from 7. The 3 upper spheres are hidden. The relation from the infinite to the manifested is hidden. About this, the Torah does not speak. Bereshit starts from the manifestation. Like we mentioned on Saturday, that the dot, the point in the belly of the bed, because a dot or point is nothing, so this is the infinite, yes, inside the bed. The infinite that revives the duality. But Bereshit starts with heaven and earth, with duality, Elohim, multiplicity. And the 7, the manifested. And from the picture of 7, or from the counting of 7, or the 7 voices or sounds that we were reading on Psalms 29, everything is being cut. What do we mean by that? There is one day of rest. There are 6 days of creation, of development, and then there's a rest, the soul day. So this is once per week. And every 7 months, there is a rest. So when we start counting from spring, from Nisan, which is the first, which is spring, The seventh is Tishrei. And in Tishrei, there's rest. Or if we count, and what is the rest? So there's Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, and there's the Sukkot, 7 days, and Simchat Torah. But if we count from Tishrei, from the autumn, the seventh month is Nisan, and there's a parallel picture in the spring, and then there's Passover, and then 7 days, Chag HaMatzot, the holidays of Matzah. So there's a pausa. It is a pausa because this is a soul time. So everything sits on it. In a way, Tishrei and Nisan, if I could sit now with whiteboard, which I don't miss those days, I tell you that, we could take the wheel of the year like a circle, and we could see that Nisan, spring, and Tishrei, autumn, those are parallel months. And there's a similar mathematic. There's 7 days of Pesach and 7 days of Sukkot. This is very beautiful. Yes, yes, Bereshit. Yes. And yes, create and doing. Create a 6. Yes. And so we say there's a system of 6 and 7. The 7th day is resting in the realm of weeks, and in the realm of months, there's 6 months, let's say, of sun from spring to autumn, and then the 7th month is resting. But also in the years. Yes, every 6 years, we're counting from Tishrei 6 years, and the 7 years is sabbatical for the land, Shemitah. There is no cultivation of the land. You let the fruit and the trees, whatever there is, you just let it be. You don't interfere. There is no cultivation. There is no manipulation on the earth that you will give more as we need. Yes? Once per week, a day of rest. Also, once in 6 years, the land is resting. And don't worry about the fruit. There's a special parasha in the Torah which says, don't worry about, you will have enough to eat even if you don't cultivate, if you don't do anything. Like in our times, people take sabbatical, yes? It's the same, don't worry. So even if you don't cultivate the land for 1 year, the land will give the fruit for this year and to the coming after, and there will be enough until you go to the circle of the 6 next years. Yes, and this is the circle, or this is the system of 7, but it does not stop there. Every 7 times of 7, meaning there's one, we say sabbatical, but in Hebrew we say Shemitah. Shemitah. We just drop the land and don't cultivate it, drop the work. So 7 Shmitot are 49 years, and then there's a Jubilee, the Great Jubilee. And this is considered to be freedom. And there's a new order in the world. Yes, 7 Shmitot, 7 times 7 is 49, and there's a Great Jubilee. In the Great Jubilee, there's great freedom. All the calculations, it's good, Fernando, that you mentioned this German in his book. All calculations are gone. All what used to, any thought, any concept, any calculation that used to be guiding people, everything is gone, and there's a freedom from any concept, and then comes a new counting. This is how it works. because life is not linear, and this is Torah Moshe. Life is not linear. The map that he gives us is not linear. You cannot catch it, you cannot calculate it. There is no use that you'll try to grasp the great plan of divinity, because it's impossible to conceive. But if you look at it as a counting of 7 times 7, every 50 years there's a great change. And what used to be working before the Jubilee does not working after the Jubilee. And nobody has the key to anything. It's not if we calculate it better or faster we can prevent. This is how it is programmed. What Moses does just gives us the map to see this is how it works. And relate to it. You can also not relate to it. This is Torat Moshe, Torat Chaim. This is how life works. Yes, Fernando?
If I may ask you something that I was thinking about this development of the 7.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading that book from Shershom Sholem about the Godhead. And
about again?
The Godhead. Like
Godhead?
Godhead, the 3 upper spheres. He puts like the imaginary, the symbolism of this head of God, this Godhead. Like, we look at the Sephirot as an image of our body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the head is the 3 upper spheres. And I was thinking about this, that sometimes the symbolism assumes the characteristics of a family, Ava Ve'ima, the son and the daughter. And it seems that we have these upper spheres. First one, Keter, is like Ein Sof, is the one that is not nominated.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Abba Ve'ima, Chochmah and Binah. And we have the 7 lowers. And the 7 lowers, I can remember a beautiful video that you made once about the back-to-back relationship from Tiferet and Malkut, and the need to, it's not a need, and the maturation of this relation to Malkut and Tiferet Mary becomes full mature to understand each other, to be present. So when this happens, and I think that it's related to the Jubilee, when these kind of things happen, you do not need to do anything. Everything is complete. It is like the Sephiroth come back to its place,
Yes.
Because
yes,
I also
yes.
remember that Isaac Lurie speaks that during the 6 days, the Sephiroths are not in its real place.
They're fluctuating. Yes, there's a fluctuation. Yes. 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 This is what the story about the story. This is how he explains the daily prayers. Yes, he explains every day, and his prayer, what prayer does. There's like try to piece the market, so to speak, the market mechanics, if I could use this language from economy. Yes? Yes. Excellent. That's right. This is why there's a beautiful verse in the Bible which says, Bishnat HaYovel, in the Jubilee, you will return, you shall return. Ish la'achuzato, man, human to his mention. Achuzato, it's not just mentioned in English, it's also achizato, the holding, yes, in the nomenon. Yes? What does it mean? Not just everyone will return, let's say, to his forgotten house. This is not about physical dwelling space, but to the source. In the Jubilee, what happens is that there is an understanding which is melting in the heart. And the understanding is simple, that we are not of the manifested. This is the understanding of the Jubilee. This is non-duality. And once we see that we are not of the manifested, we are returning. This understanding is immediately hit. Yes? Everyone holds. It's not about holding, it's just our true nature is not of the manifested. This is the liberation. This is the tree of life. So every Jubilee there is a beautiful, how do you say, declaration to remind us that we are not of the manifestation, because all the calculation, how does it go? There's more and more splits, and more splits are coming out, yes, and there's like distortion of reality and extreme development. And if you continue to calculate mathematically, it's just like this man said, everything would fall. It should have fallen before. But in the system, there is already pre-calculation or pre-programmed that says whatever you'll do, it will never fall. Whatever you do, whatever you calculate, it will never fall. The universe will never fall. Whatever people come to you in 300 years, it will never fall. There's a beautiful verse that says, Sheva pa'amim yipol tzadik v'kam. 7 times a righteous man will fall and then will rise. Yes? The 7 is related to gravity. It will fall. Yes, it's a failing system. But he will rise in the 8th day. In Bina. 7 days sitting in a sukkah. Yes, in the 8th day, standing, dancing, Simchat Torah, and so. All the time. Yanis is asking, will there ever be a new heaven, a new earth? It is happening all the time. Yes, it is happening all the time. How do we learn this? From the verse, V'nahar yotzeh me'eden. It is always is. Yes? The thing is that we don't recognize it because the brain comes and calculates all the time, shoots in front of us all kinds of scenarios, stories, calculations that we tend to believe too. There's always new heaven and new earth. Earth not just in the physical dimension of soil, which is also being renewed all the time because the insects are working under the earth all the time, and the roots of the trees, the mushroom, the underwater, it's so complex. Yes. Earth, Eretz in Hebrew, Eretz from ratzon. Ratzon. There's all the time new will. Every moment you want something else. Every moment you find new interest. So it's constantly renewing. V'nahar yotzeh me'eden, and a river is going out of Eden all the time to all. Because we are not separated humans as we tend to think or to believe we are. We're not. Yes, Abigail writes, it is all state of mind. Yes. Or dimension. Yes. There's a little bug here. 1 second. Yes. There is no lack, and everything is great. Yes, Yanis is writing. Is the river in Bereshit the same river mentioned in Ezekiel? Yes, there is no. Yes, yes, yes. This is the source that all the time there is revival of life all the time. It's unconditional. There's a beautiful Zohar about V'nahar yotzeh me'eden, and the river is going out of Eden. They translate it to Aramaic as Nagid v'nafik, Nagid v'nafik, Nagid nimshach, continues and is going out, meaning there is no stop. Yes, the Zohar writes about the river which is going outside of Eden in Aramaic, Nagid v'nafik, Nagid v'nafik, continues and is going out all the time. There's no stop, non-stop river. The rivering. The word Nagid in Hebrew, is a noun. Yes, the head of the Bank of Israel is Nagid. He is not the chairman of the bank. He is not the head of the bank. In Hebrew, he is Nagid. What does it mean? He is in charge of the continuity of flow, of money flow, of liquidity of the system. You see, the money or financial is always, we speak about liquidity. Yes? Financial is like water. It's about not how much money there is, but about the flow of money. Yes? Just to give you a glimpse about the language. Yes, the head of the Bank of Israel is Nagid. Continues the flow. There is no stop. In financing, there isn't. We have Nagid, the head of the bank, that is in charge of constant flow and abundance. With Nun, Nagid, and there is a Magid. Yes, Fernando, what is a Magid or Magid? Would you like to share with us what Magid is? Yes? What is a Magid?
We can look from many angles, but from one is the one who tells stories. Or
Yes.
an angel.
Yes. So there is no stop. The Magid, yes, comes from Gid, because Gid is a tendon, is white. Yes, the tendon is white. It contains also the letter Gad and Dag. Dag is a fish. So the Magid is not conditional. Whenever he opens, it just transfer, yes, or continues the infinite abundance. Yes, the Magid. There is a part of the Haggadah Shel Pesach, the story of going out of Egypt, which is called the Magid. This is the text really of how does it go to leave Egypt. So this part of the Haggadah again from Lehagid, to tell, is called the Magid. And there is no stop. There is no measure. This is something that the mind will never accept, because the mind all the time cuts and measure. Yes, cuts and measure and put this against that to see who's higher, who's taller, who's smaller, who's faster. This is what the brain does. But infinite abundance, this is not, it has nothing to do with the brain. This is why this German man had a headache. According to his calculation, it should have been fallen ages ago, and it still stands. All universes are standing. Yes? And the Magid has this ability, is like rivering. Yes? V'nahar yotzeh me'eden, basically it's the Magid. It just speaks and brings all the abundance. There is no limitation. The only limitation is the man's mind or brain. This is the limitation. But from reality itself, there is no limitation at all whatsoever. There is no limitation. There is a beautiful book called Magid Meisharim. Fernando, do you remember Magid Meisharim? The name of the book, Magid Meisharim. Maybe you do. Rabbi Yosef Karo, maybe you remember. Yes,
Yes, of
yes,
course.
yes, yes, yes. There is no limitation, there is no condition. Whatever people say, whatever people will show you on screens as reality, toxicity, poison, whatever, there's always v'nahar yotzeh me'eden. This is an unconditional love. This is what it is. And it's so simple and it's so beautiful. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to become anyone. It just all the time is. Any questions, Fernando, Yanis, Abigail?
Just fine. It's just to thank you for
Thank you.
bringing this river to us.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us, opening Shabbat Bereshit and the week of Bereshit. And if you have any question that you would like to discuss or book to share, we shall be delighted. Thank you all for having the patience for the bugs. And we're here to stay, and we shall be here on Thursday at the same time. Thank you so much. Shana Tova and Shalom, Shalom. Welcome home, Fernando and friends. See you soon.